Watch this before you move. The pros and cons of living in Cincinnati, Ohio in 2026. If you're thinking about moving to Cincinnati in 2026, somebody has already lied to you about our city. Maybe a friend called it a sleepy Midwest town. Maybe a coworker swore the winters would break you. Perhaps a Reddit thread told you that the chili is some kind of weird personality test. In the next few minutes, I'm going to clear all of that up. The home prices, the job market, the traffic, the schools, the weather, the real stuff, so that by the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether the Queen City is the right move for you and your family, or whether it's not. So let's get into it. Number one, the truth about Cincinnati affordability in 2026. We've been selling real estate here in Greater Cincinnati for over 20 years, and our team served 613 clients last year alone. So we've got a pretty clear view of who's moving here, why, and what they're paying. And when families relocate from Chicago or Denver or Nashville or either the coast, they all say the same thing. They cannot believe how much house their money buys here. But let's put some real numbers on it. According to the Realtor Alliance of Greater Cincinnati, the median sold price across our region in early 2026 hit $295,000, up 5% over last year. And that sounds like a big jump, because it is. But here's the part that matters. According to Redfin, that median sales price is roughly 34% lower than the national average. Go ahead and rewind and watch that again. We are sitting at 1/3 less what it costs in the rest of the country to pay for a home. And our appreciation is still outpacing the national forecast. So when you zoom out to the overall cost of living, Seller.com puts Cincinnati at 3% below the national average in 2026, with housing specifically running 19% below average. Groceries, utilities, healthcare, all of it lands in a reasonable, livable range. So the affordability story is real. The numbers back it up. Now, does that mean that Cincinnati is cheap everywhere? Absolutely not. We have neighborhoods well above the national average. Montgomery, for example, sits in around $729,000. Hyde Park, Indian Hill, parts of Anderson Township, they all command premium prices because they offer something that is special, frankly. But here's the kicker. Even our most expensive zip codes are a fraction of what the same square footage costs in Austin or Denver or Boston. That is why families relocating here finally feel like they got their breathing room back. And that is what brings us to our next big reason people are moving here: Cincinnati's job market and lifestyle in 2026. Cincinnati isn't just affordable, it actually has the jobs to back up the lifestyle. What do I mean when I say that? According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Cincinnati metro area employs more than 1.16 million people across healthcare, finance, advanced manufacturing, consumer goods, and a fast-growing tech corridor. We're home to several Fortune 500 companies, Procter & Gamble, of course, being the biggest, Kroger, Fifth Third Bank, Cintas, and Western and Southern Financial Group. Cincinnati Children's Hospital alone is one of the region's largest employers, and our healthcare sector continues to expand each year. What that means for you is simple. If you're a professional moving here for a job, you're not landing in a one-horse town that could collapse if one company leaves. You're landing in a diversified economy with real depth, and that matters when you're buying a home and thinking about resale value 5 or 10 years out. Then there's the lifestyle piece, which is what surprises people the most about Cincinnati. We have 3 professional sports teams: the Bengals, the Reds, and FC Cincinnati. A riverfront downtown that's been transformed in the last 15 years with the banks, Smale Park, and massive infrastructure investments. Oh, and the streetcar. We have over 100 parks just inside the city limits: Eden Park, Alt Park, Mount Airy Park, the Cincinnati Zoo, which routinely ranks among the top 10 zoos in the country, and Findlay Market, Ohio's oldest continuously operating public market, which anchors over the Rhine, one of the most celebrated urban turnaround stories in America. For families, the story gets even better. Cincinnati consistently ranks among the best places in the country to raise kids, and our suburban school districts, Mason, Westchester, Montgomery, Indian Hill, and Sycamore, are nationally recognized. If you're familiar with the website Niche, it keeps putting those schools in the top tier of Ohio schools year after year. So far, the pros are affordability, jobs, lifestyle, and family friendliness, right? Now let's talk about where to actually live. The best neighborhoods in Cincinnati right now. When clients call and ask where they should live, the answer always depends on, of course, what they're optimizing for. So let's break it down. If you want walkability, restaurants, and a younger urban vibe, well, Hyde Park, Oakley, Mount Lookout, and Over the Rhine are going to check the box. Hyde Park Square is the closest thing Cincinnati has to a walkable village center, and it's been a favorite of professionals and young families for decades. My wife and I started there. Prices run higher than the city average, but you're paying for the location, the walkability, and of course, that Hyde Park charm. If you want top-rated suburban schools and newer construction, well, Mason and Westchester really are the heavy hitters there. Mason consistently produces one of the best public school systems in Ohio. Westchester offers similar value with great access to both downtown Cincinnati and Dayton. Both have grown steadily because families keep choosing them. Want a tucked away, established blue chip suburb with mature trees and big lots? That's Montgomery and its price performing neighbor, Blue Ash. Montgomery's median price of around $729,000 reflects the long-term demand. Blue Ash offers a more diverse range of price points and a fantastic park and event series in the summer. Want the east side? Established, wooded with great access to the river and downtown? Anderson Township is one of the strongest performers in the entire region. According to local market data, Anderson recently saw a 17% year-over-year price increase with a median price of about $353,000. That kind of appreciation tells you the demand is real. And downtown Cincinnati itself has come a long way. The condo market along the riverfront, the renovated historic buildings in Over the Rhine, and the bank's development have created a real downtown lifestyle that simply did not exist when I came to the city 20 years ago. Now, everything we just talked about, the affordability, the jobs, the neighborhoods, that's the side of Cincinnati that gets posted on Instagram. But there's another side. There are real reasons people leave, real things that can catch newcomers off guard. And we're going to walk through every single one of them in just a second, so you can move here with your eyes wide open. Before we get there, if you're seriously considering Cincinnati, we put together a free Cincinnati relocation guide that breaks down every neighborhood, school district, commute times, and price points in detail. The link's in the description below. It's the same guide we hand to our clients flying in for a tour, and it'll save you weeks of research. All right, let's get into the cons of Cincinnati. The real cons of living in Cincinnati. It's time to keep it real, guys. Cincinnati is not perfect, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you something. Con number one is the weather, and not in the way you might think. Yes, our winters get cold. Average temperatures can drop into the 20s in January, and we get about 23 inches of snow every year. But the bigger issue most newcomers didn't see coming is the gray. You see, the Ohio River Valley traps cloud cover, so from around November through early March, we get a lot of overcast days in a row. If you're coming from Florida or Arizona or Southern California, that adjustment is real. People kind of underestimate it. Summers on the flip side, they get hot and humid with highs in the upper 80s, sometimes in the 90s. And pollen season can be intense in the spring due to the river valley and the surrounding tree cover. Con number two, traffic. Specifically two stretches, the I-71 and I-75 corridor in the cut through the hill heading into downtown and the Brent Spence Bridge crossing into northern Kentucky. Both have been bottlenecks for years. There's a federally funded companion bridge project with heavy construction currently underway, but daily commuters still feel the squeeze. We're not Los Angeles or Atlanta for sure. Most communities here are still under a 25-minute commute. But those two specific stretches at rush hour can absolutely test your patience. Con number three, public transportation. We are a car city. Sorta. Southern Ohio Regional Transportation Authority runs buses and there's a streetcar downtown, but if you're coming from New York, Chicago, or DC, plan on owning a car. There is simply no way around it. Our suburbs are spread out, and outside of the urban core, transit is definitely limited. Con number four is property taxes. Hamilton County and the surrounding counties all have property tax rates higher than what people coming from Tennessee or Florida or Texas might expect. Effective tax rates often land in the 1.8 to 2.4% range, depending on the township and the school district. So when you're running your monthly housing math, don't forget to include that. The good news? Home prices are low enough that the absolute dollar amount stays very manageable for most relocating families. Con number five, crime varies by neighborhood. Cincinnati has tough pockets, just like every major city does, and a few areas to watch out for. My point here is this: do your homework on the specific zip code, not the city as a whole. So after all of that, who is Cincinnati actually right for? If you're a first-time home buyer who's been priced out of bigger metros, Cincinnati is one of the few cities left in this country where you can still buy a real family-sized home at a great school district for a reasonable price and a reasonable income. We see this every week with our relocating clients, the relief on their face when they realize they can actually afford to own again is something that we never get tired of. If you're a professional transferring in for a job at Procter & Gamble or Kroger or Fifth Third or Cincinnati Children's or any of the other major employers here, your salary stretches way further here than almost anywhere else with comparable amenities. If you're a family that wants 4 real seasons, great schools, low traffic, walkable neighborhoods, river views, and a strong sense of community without paying coastal prices, Cincinnati delivers all of that. Where Cincinnati may not be the right fit, if you absolutely require sunshine 300 days a year, if you can't live without a world-class subway system, or if you want a city where everyone is from somewhere else, Cincinnati has deep roots. Many locals are second, third, or fourth, or even fifth generation, and that can feel a little insular at first if you're coming in from the cold. But it also creates the kind of community that people stay in for life. So here's the bottom line. Cincinnati in 2026 is one of the most affordable, livable, family-friendly major metros in the country. The median home price across greater Cincinnati sits around $295,000. Our cost of living runs 3% below the national average. The job market is diverse and stable. And the lifestyle here, the parks, sports, the food, the river, it's totally underrated. But the cons are real too. The winters are gray. The traffic in 2 specific corridors is annoying, and you'll need a car. But for the vast majority of families and professionals that we work with, the trade-offs are absolutely worth it. If you're seriously considering a move to the Cincinnati Metro, we would love to help. We've walked hundreds of relocating families through this exact decision process, and we know every neighborhood, school district, and price point inside and out. So drop a comment below and let us know what you're looking for, or reach out to us directly via the link in the description. The free Cincinnati relocation guide is down there too, and it's genuinely the fastest way to get up to speed on the market. And if you want the other side of the conversation, the stuff most agents won't tell you, go watch our next video, The Dark Side of Living in Cincinnati, Ohio in 2026. We get into the things that newcomers complain about the most and how to avoid the biggest mistakes when you move here. I'll see you in the next one.